for higher juicy news. Mema Bawumia Kwaba had the latest hot ekwa enamede bramo anuti so we subscribe to channel idea bomodia say obe subscribe. There we are say obe click the subscribe button na wabeli notification. We are sa video for be upload no when the first person was sa ebeka sa video. Afi we are na like video no give us a thumbs up na fi share my wo for so na when you be here now and somewhere koso e wo Ghana memwa afi yembura ye and somewhere abeto yepno so umayenti e sa reporting somewhere abeto jamayenti e da sorry ya chief justice said there be on tiase petition no a e dey akodan council of state no onya copy anka ope na wahwemu ebie akwa ye nsem a Ghana fa bisa se obi asem fore wo ho de e dey nti no pese ohu asem no se ne emunsem esetie. Is she right? Say I was demanding for the copies, and I say for the petition, I petition against her, and also said the container, Neswa Aira, ECG for container no, and there you will be. So say container nibi wa omayi munyama aton more cables nibi akoma scrap dealers. Chinese company be a boni din say or no total scrapping so and also a comma woho and ye love ya scrap it at the free what in yan comma woho we or preliminary comment na yen to aswenko
will be a one opportunity or to me follow Ghana politics for quite some time now complaining about how our institutions and the structures of government are very weak especially under President Akufo Addo. And it got to a time of virtually all state institutions came crumbling under the influence of the executive powers. You don't see institutions in the moment individuals be strong men well in control. You who their course our auditor general, your fancy department, you who their course even within the media and several other state agencies, the court and then as a forum. The Macatra said democracy be the foundational institution here power back the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. And the here are Ghana for in a swarm war a womb in your free endanger the prospect of our democracy and the judiciary. But what follow media discussion, various discussions and polls around judiciary for quite some time now. With the politics, with the Adebiato in China, you come to appreciate say indeed public confidence in the institution, conform to a point at Ghana for GDA and now swears of war judiciary in Nihobium. All because of some decisions and some appointments, some decision by some of these appointees at the Supreme Court, ama Nipa in Nigeria, and there are a lot of online posts, a lot of surveys that have been conducted about the judiciary. I give credence to this. Your friends in some year can you so be in a body team and a worker. Until you'll be aware so much enthused about a democracy, you'll be worried. Because this is one of the foundational institutions of democracy in Nigeria. So if we are losing the judiciary, you know that we are heading to an arena of chaos and pandemonium if nothing is done about it. And the Myanmar Supreme Court aye in recent times ama the most revered your friends arm of the judiciary, the Supreme Court again some notoriety for being a partisan arm of power under Akufo Addo, and people were using it to do a whole lot of stuff. So we have panel na air course under President Akufo Addo na ebi amanfo nhase enhyeda entenanse nyeye judges na no panel for cases they were running through the same people when ba mienu bi na sesa the same personalities, the same people, and they were giving the same ruling and the same judgment all over. And then the cover unanimous 11 unanimous 5 in as for by that became a subject. The judiciary and the Supreme Court a subject of your friends are public ridicule, public mortification in all discussion on social media now for and corruption cases and allegations are level against even some individuals in there. The whole Chief Justice was a subject of your friend say one of these allegations that lawyer Bibi Meki at the end of the day, I think that lawyer was suspended a whole lot of issues ever in court. Sanyama we now build it up to that particular perception. And then the mother of all things, the appointment, the brazen manner with which the president was appointing people left, right, center to the Supreme Court bench. Obajia di say ye drew a point here, obi a yenim say or your party we ni oko contest ye ewo ye fan saying Ho East on the ticket of the MPP elusu ye. Sa nipa no ya promoting her to the stance as such a sensitive bench ye ne kotena so. Indication is all qualified. But you see, my culture said there are moral argument and common sense argument that you need to make. You look at the institution in question and how revered and a partisan is supposed to be. There are some individuals who push you. I know the no matter the kind of rule or whatever, it will still create doubt on the minds of people, and that impression will sully the reputation of the judiciary. And those near way, you know, causing a bedroom point, Ghana fought for about. I'm saying they are seeking to reset institutions. And in resetting this institution, it's not just any institution. The most foundational institution can be. Don't forget that this reset started from Parliament too. Is the reason why you saw that massive numbers this time around. Because most of the majority people are more the MPPs that were voted against. So when people are talking about this reset, they don't talk about say the reset no already taking place our Parliament that are taking place our the executive that is the reason why Bawumia lost the way he lost. Then the only armor here that ruling at this time is the judiciary. And it's not as if the President Mahamadu Bawumia say me koyi judge free her. Only that Afenyo 92.3 a petition that has to be submitted by a Ghanaian. Ghanaian or her or dissatisfied with Niema the Supreme Court and I say Chief Justice and so we article 146 so we when and me that will copy or hand can go through now how what has to be done in that particular way and that will be at the petition akwa president forwarded to your friend is saying Council of State now or more establish what I say there are merits and I say that particular petition you know have some credence be able to be forwarded to a panel for subsequent procedure say because of Minya Niamana air kwasuna generate whole lot of debate in the first place. Matisse says Tafo MP at the court say or stop the process because of free say president at Chief Justice 9 so be your friends saying what ne fa hodie so because onyama na kwenya ema yentie no. And sometimes what in China will follow some of these things and this guy in question is a parliamentarian. Now this is the way he thinks and you could see clearly that it is either his motivated by malice or the partisan lines na yendim no and I say he's not even thinking right and I say he's just ignorant about this whole process because nyansa bia nimsa at this point anybody will push the president to court to stop him because onyamo Chief Justice amane so we have provisions na ewo ho na oko article 146 na down was no nyina e kire hawa so person we Chief Justice free ho and I say any member of the Supreme Court bench no free her and now say or talk about regional tribunal chairman and as a forum so person you free her there are clear outline our constitution na nkasa Bediatuo quite clearly how that particular process must be your friends applied so at any point in time so what national say president avere offer you have every right citizen to complain but at this point the questioner is any reasonable logical mind be beside who say at this point, President Afomemra now the Chief Justice who demand now all demanded for petition copy no is it right or is it wrong? That is the question we are going to answer this time. The whole thing is that Constitution say President receive petitioner was set up that particular petition. Now Odema your friend say Council of State no more establish a prima facie in the face of we know whether it is credible to be your friend saying but what in people are not considering is a particular we need a constitutional injunction on both the president and on your friends the Council of State. So petition be the president why he's just a conveying bells. Said there yes and fellas in one of the press way no. The president's duty is to push that particular petition to the Council of State. And establishing whether there is merit or not, you know, that process is not an adversarial process. That is what people should understand. Adversarial, let's say, I don't know, a bit more quiet and I say that particular process is never adversarial. It's a procedural. Who say petition appropriate and answer appropriate on the face of things that has been presented. So at that point, you don't need the input of Chief Justice because they are not going to go into the case, the merit of it, to determine whether it is relevant or not. Sometimes you can even just look at a petition on the face of it and determine, say, even the petition is not competent. So there was a time I think say a bit by yes, omo sign a binim sign here. So some of these technical destiny can even render the petition incompetent to be forwarded to the next stage. But this time, the president, as a conveyor belt, has a constitutional injunction on him to push this thing to Council of State to determine, to establish that premier facie, your friends say, in the face of what has been presented. May say that particular process is not adversarial process. Either warranty the Chief Justice to say so for a whole Chief Justice who understand this whole thing to come and say, yeah man, a copy at this time, it is wrong. And again, so what kind of constitution now called Article 140 says clause 10 now. I don't know if you have a copy, you can read it. Actually quite clearly say president forward petition now say Council of State it may establish say indeed they need to proceed here. From that point going, it becomes an adversarial process. And at that point the Chief Justice must be heard. Okay. I hope you understand. So at that point, committee no better say omo recommendation and a president better so act as to whether so obepam maame na answer maame better. So at that point, as the principles of natural justice dictate, the person must be given the right to be heard. What are some? So at that point, a committee has been set up. Comprises of a high court, your friends say Supreme Court judge, and other people. Your friends say you appoint your more lawyers and so composition, no kind of constitution or no, a kind of clear. When that particular panel or committee is set up, at that point you cannot say oh my Chief Justice, your friends say a copy to know because she must appear before the committee either in person or by her lawyer, and at that point she must be heard. And the Kwabena Agyapong, it's because why not petition I hope you get a point. Just a when your petition I So this whole process, include Chief Justice having access to the petition, but not just point, because points do and it's not an adversarial processor. You ever finding any adverse finding against the Chief Justice is to either to know say there are merit, we can give credence to the petition. And that we can start the process. And this is what kind of constitutional Article 148 downwards now. Even with the president or started from forwarding it to the Council of State. That is where it starts from. After dealing with your first member of the Supreme Court or the tribunal chairman, or started with sending the petition to Council of State to establish the premier facie, whether it is relevant. So from that point, and say, otchere that's sorry. That Council of State back and say. Nema petition and the on the face of it, we think the petition is competent and it can proceed to the next stage. At that point, the president will have no other option than to give the woman copies to read. At this point, even the Council of State can say, oh, on the face of it, your friends are not competent enough to proceed. So, what they copy command and I day, and who here at this point? And I don't know why some people on the other side, MPP, are taking this whole issue as if say something has happened, and I don't know why the Chief Justice herself is panicking. Because at the end of the year, signs of panic, or she's panicking. Say, well, demanded for the petition. Yes, at this time she's just panicking, and baby or me, I'm not sure say or here because as I'm American, she understands this thing is better than I do. So for her to come publicly to send letters and ask for demanding say your man a copy when she knows say. This whole process can never terminate without her being given your friend saying opportunity to read. And again, the committee in the Fresh Chief Justice. Now you catch us say your 7 days for responsible. But she can say, oh, the period is short, so give me 1 month. You have the right. Because at the end of the day, the input that you send to the committee, and as a Babaka, and as a winning petition, you can request for more time. So there is no haste in this thing. For her demanding. Because I say there is no way this thing will terminate without Chief Justice having access to the petition. She knows. So it's just you see, she's doing this thing just to court public sympathy. Because because after elections, they've lost relevance.
Yeah.
So they are just clutching at straws. So in some hunu biya ba no masori de chire de kokot. Gonyansa biya nim sa asem wo de kokot.
Mami na say Ivan Che innocent. I know so when we but then mami quickly mami will bear 5 minutes being counted. I can go for a short, quick commercial break.
Yeah, sure. There's a more the break at some time.
Yeah, I didn't know be na. Yes, I'm from Jamaica.
Oh, Kofi. As a what kind of constitution now? Or be so clearly say on what grounds? And a bit may Chief Justice a floor. Either misbehavior, incompetence, or infirmity to both body and mind.
Yeah.
You know who said Chief Justice Yare. But there are two broad areas that are very, very vague.
Yeah.
One share in interpretation your way. One has to do with misbehavior, and the other one has to do with incompetence. But they are normally, you be free. Wait me use your incompetence, because incompetence is like a sea. I'll come for fishing. When you be or ha, ben you be or ha. And there are a lot. One, make sure say at this point, public trust in institutions and kasa winning considerably. That alone is enough testament to give justification to the fact that the person in charge is incompetent. And there are public posts out there. Again, so we heard some of the rulings in the past. Birth certificate issue. Now, I mean, she was part of the panel, even though she wasn't the Chief Justice then. And not a Honsem. And again, in recent times, most of the contentious issues are about Abonting. There was a time Electoral Commission decided to embark on a particular registration at the district level. Yeah. NDC and 6 other political parties at the court. Such issues, you will expect in Kabeya swift response. Almost the Chief Justice took one day. Tab date national bottom or my one TV. These are evidence. These are evidence of incompetence anywhere. Because bench in your mama and your papa and who took out the data show bottom. What has Emma Mekana say? And when it comes to some of these adverse justify incompetence and as well, I can sit here and tell you that there are a number of them. The banter between the Supreme Court and the judiciary. Some of the rulings about the banter between the Speaker of Parliament. In the end, this LGBT issue, the swift manner, Yadikotie Afenyo Markin issue. Now this whole landmark case are software Muslims. Otchere say yenye. Now no issue na say tafo MP in the court. Sansem I can sit and tell you but unsi a fixed date for Tuesday. Someone who's a fixed date. Yeah. So it means the woman is acting where it favors her.
And every now and then she's proving it.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, one thing I don't like about her is that posture of arrogance, looking down on people that kind of way. For me, she doesn't engender trust and confidence. Ghana for a pair from the judiciary. And against the backdrop said, majority of Ghanaians don't trust the institution called judiciary. There is the need for us to sanitize the institution. What I say? And at this point in time, maybe or no one tenancy who said, the IAD because for her to scream when it's not time for her to scream, no. Clearly, choose a Adibia fanatum. Bakofi, at the chair Muslim for AD, your friend is saying, holiday no salano. Who say omu pian and pie come my yanka. Sign and pie no ya dan on mafie. Say you could do us a malam when you this time to come my bepe Christo near maneternity. So then pie na a sala dura yet come my yanka no. We yet died then and pie will never come home. And that is the situation I see. So Chief Justice, ya can't come my yanka no. On him say ya dan ya on mafie. And unti na wasa se kikam no because on him dia why. And within the judiciary itself, there is tension among people on the bench. Promotion. Quite recently, I know in the far craft, actual command, and now Akufo Addo. Actually, on the number for the classmate, didn't say, or person or appoint to the bench. We have fee. And that thing was illegitimate, it was illegal because such consultation must be done with the Judicial Council. But push your money or throw that particular letter. It's a sign of income. It means that one can win him the auto on a way. Or be in a favor no push you. So for me, that woman, as long as she's there, and the reason why she's fighting it, Sadia will go through her. It will become a danger on herself. She will be the first Chief Justice in the history of this country under the Fourth Republic. And she doesn't want that. But that is why you see some people on the other side that but
well,
for the Tafu MP and the MPP, what they are doing there, these are confused people who have lost the election. Instead of them to go and sit down and then see how meeting back, you know, they're just clutching at these straws just to be relevant. I think they should be ignored. That nothing has happened. President Mahama at this point has not heard. You know that.
Yeah.
So it's a process, you know. So you set up a committee, to define them back. Now some man ya man kwanya. I don't know. It's in clear violation of her human right, and we'll come here and talk about it. But we are not there yet. And there is no indications that president will not allow her to be heard. But at this point, I think she should stop screaming and call her dogs back home. Or more go straight to this or more back for no because time in so yet. Some be back. Time no swan. You have more pack. I'm more big and some back. And then everybody will hear them. But at this point, I'm not sure say they have any point.
But now say Ivan Che innocent, a researcher, and I want to on the Chief Justice. The request Senka wamo manning the copies of the petition Senebeya on also to me I go through. I don't know share the matters arising on that very particular issue. I mean call era Ellen DeGraft and also a member of the NDC Operi. Share your take on the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono.
Gofi. Mkwenya mini. Oshe be aminu ava na peke nsem di fie na ani nchechema o my na clearly akwa say the Chief Justice no opentem nempoko epentem
eponko pentema Kofi Annan say
nempoko na pentem
yes ne koma yan kantin wan tetema ama
clearly no say unim procedure no na unim say these are the processes I was say will go through before say ubenya opportunity say ubenya a copy of whatever petition that has been written against you. And definitely there's no way yede asem and I say yede asem ever asem e dey foul na ye ma ho kwan so ubenya copy. So how do you go to defend yourself? You definitely be given opportunity.
Yes, so why are you in a rush?
Why are you crying for now? Because whatever the case is, at the end of the day, whoever filed a petition, and now said the other will court, no, some what you added for honor. Yeah, Baba said, who are we accused? Then you have an opportunity to go through whatever has been leveled against you, and then you have the opportunity to go to court and respond to them. And these are clear issues. I mean, for say, she's just in the haste. Oh, my know what SBT.
Ato FM 92.3.
And as I can't SBT no. Or no, when she sit down, that's all reflect here. Very clear. So it's a straightforward issue. Now, what the MPP has adopted in recent times is at any given time, there's an issue. No, they run to the public to call for public sympathy. So that at the end of the day, when the public kasa na kwa say wona wo ye de mra kwan so no wunipa na wo ya identity and won dey be a won penasem enso enya sa na asem. And that is exactly the approach omo decided so omo here, because they have don't believe so much in the social media, in the sense that any little thing they want to run to the social media and put it out there.
Yeah.
But believe you me, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not an unfair person. He's somebody who believes in the rule of law, and every step on the way he has proven, he has shown. So you be a emra Ghana mrano adi oyeden odiso, and he is not vindictive. No matter what the situation is, that man is not vindictive. Look, I'll give you one of the clearest example. And saying blaster football eboye.
Yeah.
Look at the telepathy, the kind of cordial relationship that he exhibited between Asamoah and Onu. It's a clear indication that this is somebody who is not vindictive, no matter what has transpired.
Because Asamoah and the MPP.
That is it.
I think Asamoah
you understand? And during his tenure of office, our Brazil, is that not it?
Yeah.
The Badana, a friend
Asamoah problem of
creating.
Yeah.
Now, Mampini, as soon as we were the captain, at least if not for anything, you could have even saved the situation. That is why you were a leader. All these things, he exhibited them. All the subjected people to. But look at the president, and when he met him at the stadium, as if nothing has transpired at all. And look at the kind of telepathy or the kind of relationship that existed that everybody saw. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will not go and push people like the way they went and pushed people against Charlotte Osei.
Ato FM 92.3.
And the issue about the Chief Justice removal, it is something that has been on the table before going into the 2024 elections. Are you aware?
Yeah.
Because there are other renowned people.
Now, Alex, this year, now, what's that taking off?
Yeah, there are other Nkophobia. Omadisha Ekweni. Omo Amanone. Ebinso. Ewo Oma Wemu. At the point in time, Mr. Kwame Zukra Ekan Hansem. Yeah. You understand, Professor Zu Ekan Hansem. And the
Ato FM 92.3.
Na kwa say me so na bia etro petition e de tiana na kwa say obi na epuepia professor mo kokko yes ade na ventia ma no. The issue is say ono anana mo wetu ne ya awaye na how can say ubetimi atena say na wonim say ade a etiamra answer wo ubetimi aklame aba ye Supreme Court Chief Justice no e wo de wo say ofam e wo stage say wo say ofam and having assumed that position no untimi entena say and kasami wo classmate bi mu ntino intenu ntino san crofo no o tro en krata e de ama omampani a wetwe mu kon se onhwe na san crofo no omama meka ho e wo Supreme Court no sa na eye no but we e ya ade a uda na di and clearly no these are some of the lapses that one kasa under your tenure of office. I will name say a breach the principles of the very office that you own. No, you have gone ahead. I assign them a and these are clear examples over there. What you say? In situations where time court, where I am very clear. Say, I was a Jane, electoral commissioner. No, I was a Oba box. No, Oba be you know one. I fancy saying what happened. Why didn't they see it? Odias, and so clearly no. Odum said the way the Chief Justice has carried herself. Say with the frache. We impenasem for the sake of saying impenasem. No, that is not it. Because if not for anything, we as a National Democratic Congress, the leadership of the party, have shown good faith. Yeah. So Oshe, Chief Justice Georgina Wood, okay, under His Excellency Professor John Evans Atamos, she was appointed during the time of His Excellency J. Akufo through the period of Professor John Evans Atamos. Mami we etna office for good solid 4 years. Ama His Excellency Professor John Evans Atamos nyame eton sa frɛ no. Nyame fa ne krensi. Ama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebebe to aso. O bebe to aso nyina na mami da ho eden at office. Despite nyame bia etwebuko a waye IC eya na mo bia ekɔ editia party no. To the extent say I was say to me to Anamombi. But at that time, here in the NDC, we were not vindictive to go after such personalities. And so, therefore, if we did not do, wood as at that time now. Never I didn't say, my men in the time, we are not against the woman. Dear, why, NSM Fata, I undermine the principles of rule of law. I am the public interest. Our judicial system says, that is where the issue are. Because, says, you cannot have a situation whereby who the wasem court. No one say asem na wo dey court no. Politically no. Everyone saying it's politically motivated. Yeah. And to once uni ni party or no. Now why would the asem no court no crap no. Uni did say asem na wo dey be do sun. Is that how we want to stay in the country? Sande percent no more. No. That is what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eba or say look. Say me His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mo ma me ho kwan. Na se ba betina abemu a me make sure say obi a betime nya fair trial. At the end of the day, no, so what do I say? Echo as him dibia, the air would deal woman as a self says, who debut, and I say, would you fa say, boasem no, we are at least no one say, Massam Nayade, and I was some Nayade, and yet, so you accept the judgment that comes out of it. But in cases where answer some that is a more reason why. Okay, I said, look, MPP, yeah, I am confident. Why? To say, be a case here about the wo unim se anama wotu signals all over HSA ketasise ne proye e na odu nsa akwakoshim na yoko aboka say yeju 200 million bail na wo we nya ho to me you had the court and the court and a court so at the summer number and a court so at the summer number 80 million. What are we talking about? And then when you look at the records and all the things that is established now, any Nyama Papa will procure now. The fact of the matter is say when the investigations have been done, what is the business? Papa ni erani but it has gone to the court. So if such examples is what ye done, is that what Ghanaians want to go to? Where cases will go to court when Ghanaians expect fair trial? Because what Ghanaians can say is massa. You need to pass said the film a year or not any bra film no is as a result of a binary so there was all your minor 1 year more money catastrophs pro into a sick year ADC no your best scano his excellency John Dramani Mama I just said scanning at the mind now say his excellency John Dramani Mama ebeji scanning at the mind ne yakwa corporate baako e dia bro near the subo abon send ebe ya obetimi ati no man wemu na de SF fata se wo so okumu no na de subo abon na agiske bi send ebe ontimi ko bebia no siska or this kind of okokot into siska no me agiska no is that how we want to go and you talk no nobody he said a person obia nchi ni pedua na namontuo ne ye ene kwan omuni oman we afaso ma GDF ni GDA ewo oman ni mu aye judiciary no I like the me Bárking. Look at the case between Gabby against what transpired in Parliament and the position of the judiciary against Parliament. Meanwhile, we know that these bodies, they are all arms of government and they all have roles to play. And the course of the delivery of justice, you know, and so when sure say, and I'm be able to but what she did, I no supervise here, rude, boo, Parliament in him. Oh, and why is animal when you know Nene, and Aquacoba Sama.
You waiting for waiting, and someone about Beto Yapono. Mikau says, so when you subscribe to channel idea, Bomodia say, over subscribe. Now, I like video to give us a thumbs up, Nafi, share my Fufrosuna, will you be here now, and somewhere Koso, Ewo Ghana memoir. Also, with me, otchere wondering if I hear some way who Ewo comment box in Mobati and Kabio in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.